Packers in the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football. So are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A give. This is Cook. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So, Charles, this game number 2 in the NFL career of this rookie quarterback. His guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things. And they like the fact that he's not blaming other people, because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games, that's when you begin to grow as a quarterback.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Cook running right. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Set up a throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the fella. The 20, 10, 5, and they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now Jones. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now back to throw. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. That catch good for only a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. And he's
got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Henry Ruggs. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measure. Now White lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and the ball is knocked out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 8 yards to go on second down. They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Brian Burns coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with down. On the delay, Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2nd and 2. They run, Cook, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Cook able to avoid him at the 40. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On the ground, it's Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 89 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Eluding the pressure right. Runs through the contact. He's got the first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
Being chased out left. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Push him back. Push him back. He's checking. Crash.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And we're going to get a timeout.
with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Don't get nervous. Line 36. Line 36. Let's go, D.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Again, it's Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Strip that ball. Strip that ball. Watch 36. 36.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the booth. Watch the booth. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Deuce, deuce. Deuce, deuce.
The give is to Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
2nd and 2. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
A run with Jones on 1st down, not going to yield much. A yard tops. 2nd down coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Second and 9.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Jump out.
They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He'll look to throw.
Reception here by Ruggs.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And this throw will be intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They run it again with Cook. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary, his 2nd sack of the night. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 21, a lot of ground to cover. They'll look to throw. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. There he goes right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call. Well, that certainly comes under the heading of critical mistake, doesn't it, partner? You can't have that. You got a chance to tie the ball game from the 2-yard line. Now you've got to go back to the 7-yard line and take the same chance.
They'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 8. Now here's a throw that's complete.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Handoff comes to Cook. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play of this football game. They'll roll him out right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Powering forward, fighting through. So the completion good for 6 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And he will have the Vikings 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Now a timeout coming in here defensively, as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Flush to his right.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down, but they are in field goal range already. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Back to throw.
He'll get that out to the flat to White.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Second and 7.
They'll look to throw. Steps away.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Third down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
68 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
He's back to throw. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's second and 9.
A give to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. They'll go again to Jones. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there. Gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And he finds his target, Ebron. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
And his kick is no good. And just barely missing it wide to the right. And right now, just absolute anguish on that visiting sideline.
It came down to one kick, a chance to steal one on the road, but you could feel the pressure, couldn't you? And the pressure enveloped him on that one, forced a missed kick.
And the crowd went wild. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. That was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shot.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0.
And they'll get to stay home again next week as Washington comes to town.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.